Welcome back to another episode of Be More Truthful, the podcast about relationships between men and women, helping to bridge the gap in between the two. I am your host, Cornbread Capone, and today my guest is Tha.Rich.Auntie. How are you doing today?
Hello, Cornbread. I'm doing good. Thanks for asking.
All right. Well, the first question I'm gonna ask is, what is dating like in 2024?
What is dating like in 2024? If nobody believes in love anymore. I'm probably the only person still left on this earth that still believe in love. I've had conversations with a few people and they tell me that they're not looking to get into a relationship anymore because they were hurt by a previous girlfriend or boyfriend. So nobody is really looking for love. So dating is really hard right now because I'm single. I'm very single.
Right. I understand now. You brought up something that I find interesting. You
Mhm.
said a lot of people are not willing to get into relationships because of hurt from prior relationships. Do you feel like that's all of the people or that's half of the population?
I would say more than half of the population. I mean, because I don't think that you've ever met anyone that's never been in a relationship before, especially if they're like 20 years and older, somebody experienced some type of relationship, situationship, love triangle, something. But I think that most of the guys that I've experienced, they have been hurt in the past, and as well as women too. They just don't want to steer towards that dating pool because they're afraid of getting hurt.
Do you think that social media has played a part in the destruction of relationships?
Absolutely. I mean, people say that Instagram and Facebook and all these social media platforms is the devil. And I truly believe so, but that's only for the people who actually engage in social media 24/7. I know people that wake up and say, "Good morning, Facebook." And that's just not me. I don't want to entertain social media. If most people would just put their time, energy into themselves and spend some time alone and get to know yourself, then you may can be able to share love for somebody else.
Yeah. Something that it bothers me, but it works for some people on social media. Um, the whole going public thing. Now you got some people who can do it and they probably don't experience no type of problem.
Yeah.
For me personally, it never worked for me for some reason. It always ended bad or in a situation that it, it just turned bad for some reason. Yet at the same time, you have people who can publicly show their relationship on social media and nobody has a problem with it, or they don't have any problems from that.
Well,
Different people have different type of ways.
yeah.
For me, it doesn't work. Now, for the next person, it might, but I think that adds another layer of stress to the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're not only dealing with the relationship, you're dealing with the eyes and ears of the public who now know about your relationship. So, and that can
Well,
be pressure.
I understand, but also when you say that you had a problem with it, there is a broad spectrum as far as what the problem was. Was it the people that's on social media? Is it the commenting? Is it the posts? Is it the likes? Because I had a previous relationship with someone and they would tell me happy birthday. And he was like, well, who is this? And then he would be friends with almost everybody on my friends list. He would follow everybody and see who is who. And I'm like, you don't know who that is. That could be somebody I grew up with. That could be somebody who changed my flat tire one day when I was stuck on the freeway. And now we're friends, and he has a wife. So it all really kind of stretches out to the person's insecurities, because like I said, I only can really speak for myself, which I mostly do, but I know I wouldn't get jealous, because it's a virtual platform. It's not even real. Some of the people, you don't even really know. Now, there are family and friends that's on social media. You can kind of deter who is who when it comes to family and friends. But there's people that applaud you. You don't know who they are. They may be your motivation early in the morning. They may be the ones that's actually supporting you and having your back. So I feel like for your relationship to be secure, you would have to be secure with yourself as well as your partner. And that has to be a great deal of trust between the two, because I'm like, okay, somebody like your post, whoop de doo, not a big deal, because I mean, truthfully, I've been there before and I look like a damn fool going down somebody's friends list and you got 7,000 followers and I'm trying to look and see who clicking on, like, it's tedious and it's tiring. And, you have to kind of give that type of mentality up because when you act like that, you're just, the only thing that you're doing is just kind of putting yourself in a bubble. You putting yourself in a bubble and you won't be able to live freely and mentally. So you just have to like let go of the chains of social media because they can ruin a relationship.
I agree 100%. I have to ask you this question. Do you feel like the music today plays a part in the destruction of relationships?
Yes. I mean, yeah, that is so true. If it weren't for the record companies and the type of agenda that they have on the youth, it wouldn't be a problem. But everybody is about money, and then at the same time, these women out here are subjecting themselves to, showing less and twerking and showing everything that they have to the world, and all while doing music. And it's like we have little girls that's looking up to them, unfortunately. But look at, like, for instance, Megan Thee Stallion, and I love her. I'm not trying to shoot any daggers at her or, put her in a place of everybody else, but she graduated with a master's degree. How come that isn't applauded? How come that isn't congratulated and shown in a public eye that she actually graduated from college with honors? But a lot of people don't know that. They just know that she can rap. And it's all entertainment. It's all entertainment, but you just, like I said, you have to kind of free yourself from what you see on the outside because you just scratching the surface. You have to really get deep and dig deep into what the music about and who the person is. So
Hmm. I want to ask you something because this is something that I had a conversation with a friend of mine about. Uh, can a man date when he's broke?
can a man date when he's broke?
And the reason why I asked you that is because I told him, I said, a woman can date broke. She can go to the club with $0 and she don't have to worry about a drink. She don't have to worry about a ride home. She don't have to worry about if she want to stop at Waffle House and get her something to eat. She ain't got to worry about paying for that. So, and I feel like, that should cut the same way, but people feel different. You got people in the world who feel different about that. And I just wanted to ask you, can a man date when he's broke? Because clearly a woman can.
We'll see, that all goes back to tradition. You know, a man can go out and date broke. He can do whatever he want to do, just like anybody else can go out and do whatever they want to do. But if the man is just upfront and honest with himself first and with the women that he's going to encounter wherever he goes to pick up someone, and I mean, not right off, but when you talk and say, hey, look, this is because I'm supportive of a broke man. I'm not going to really do for you too much. But like I said, if I believe in love, then how are we going to be a power couple if we don't start from somewhere? So, yeah, even if you catch the bus or even if you don't have a lot of money, I'm the type to where I'll give you a chance. But as soon as you disrespect me to any type of way, then yeah, you'll get blocked or anything like that. So money doesn't play a factor with me because I do give guys a chance. They don't have to
That's
have
rare. That's extremely rare and commendable because you don't hear that from women these days. Most women
and that
come with an invoice. Like
that's crazy.
wherever you meet them, if you meet them at the corner store, they come in with an invoice. If you meet them at the grocery store, they're gonna expect you to pay for the groceries. If then this is what it is right now. This is why a lot of men have checked out and just stopped altogether because you don't want to feel like a man doesn't want to feel like an ATM. I don't want to feel like a open wallet. And we all want love. All of us, we all want love, but this is the thing: you can't buy love at no store in the world.
Yeah, and love comes in all forms and fashions now, evidently, because love to some people, women and men, is like buy me a Birkin bag. Can you pay for this? Can you pay for that? And that's where the toxicity comes in. A relationship can be toxic if a man is just taking care of a woman. Now, look at this. Okay, so I'm gonna give you an example. Let's just say that there is a man and a woman who's dating. They like each other, they get to know each other, and then the man is like, you know what? You my lady. I'm gonna take care of you. So the man works and works for years. The woman don't have to do anything, but only because he told her, like, I'm gonna take care of you. She stays home, she cooks, she cleans, she does everything to make sure that he's, supported and stable. And then he does everything to make sure that she's supported and stable, right? So what if something happens to that man? What if he lose a limb? What if he gets into a car accident? What if he can't walk? What if he get diabetes and lose his leg? I mean, anything could happen, right? With this life that we live. Is that woman that you're marrying and getting with, do you know if she's going to take care of you when the tables turn? Will she say, you know what? You've taken care of me for 15 years. It's time for me to take care of you. Will she, put her boots on and her hard hat and go to work and do the same thing that the man did for her all these years? Because if she doesn't and she decides to step out because he is incompetent or incapable of helping her out, then he don't need to be with her. But that has to be tested early in the relationship, because if not, then you're stuck with somebody who's going to divorce you, take half, and you like, wait a minute, take half. You haven't given me half of anything. Only the man has been providing for all these years, taking care of the woman. So you have to make sure that you get you a thoroughbred, a real ride or die woman that's going to be like, you know what, it's my time to go out and work and take care of you. And it's not a lot of women like there, because they always start off with, what can you do for me? First of all, what can you do for yourself? Because a man is attractive to a woman that can do for herself. He's not going to see you walk down the street with a stroller, going to a shelter looking fucked up and say, damn, look at her, I want to take care of her. No, if you want a rich man, you have to be in the places that rich men be. You have to be at the lounges. You have to be at the high price restaurants or State 48 or wherever. You have to be at the places that being a man, even if you have kids, your kids have to be well dressed, socks and shoes on their feet, clean, their hair combed, well mannered. And a man be like, dang, she by herself. She got 4 kids, but dang, I want to help her because she's helping herself and she's helping her kids. That's the way it works. But it's crazy because women have taught their daughters all the way from back probably the 1940s, 50s, that make sure you get a man that's going to take care of you, make sure you have a man with money. So we can't really blame the women now. It's the generational thing. We have to blame the mothers of, mothers of mothers from the past that actually taught their daughters to make sure you find you a man with money. That man with money may be crazy, he may be abusive, he may be toxic. So, what should be taught is that make sure you can take care of yourself first, and once you take care of yourself, a man will notice that. The right man will notice that.
Right.
Mhm.
It- it's incredible what you're speaking on because I tend to talk about these conversations a lot with some of the homies around the way a lot. Before we get up out of here, is there anything that you would like to say? Is there any advice you would like to give? This last question. Is there any advice that you would like to give to any young ladies that may be in formidable years of their life? They're coming into their own, they're growing up. Of course, they're talking to boys. Any positive feedback for them?
Yeah, I just want to tell the young girls out there to just take your time because knowledge is power. You have to live this life and gain experience first before you go out there and give yourself to someone else. You first. Take your time. Take time to yourself. It's okay to be by yourself because you learn a lot, and I'm a true believer of God, and God will speak to you. Ask and you shall receive. But let God give it to you first before a man can, because a man not gonna give you everything that you want and need. Only God will.
Word. And that's real. On
Mhm.
behalf of the Rich Auntie, I am Cornbread Capone. This is Be More Truthful, the podcast. And until next time, everybody, peace and love, because that's what this world needs in a major way. Peace and love.